Today on the channel, Jack's Classic Superstars Series 4 unboxing and review of Nikolai Volkoff, Iron Sheik, and King Kong Bundy.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Jack's Classic Superstars unboxing and review. And today from Series 5, we've got King Kong Bundy, Nikolai Volkoff, and the Iron Sheik. But remember, for all your modern day wrestling figure needs, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle to save yourself 10%. And we continue on these Jack's Classic Superstars unboxings. Of course, 2+ years of Jack's Classic Superstar videos here on the channel. A Tuesday tradition at this point. But of course, we did the deep dives, the overview, the discussion of the line. Now we're actually doing hardcore, straight up unboxings here on the channel. And that's where we are today, here with Series 5. And of course, we're going to do these unboxings like we do all the other unboxings on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Without further ado, we're going to start it off with old Nikolai Volkoff. And I got to say, this is one of the most underrated Jack's Classic Superstars figures in the entire line. Now, Nikolai, of course, he's no Hulk Hogan. He's no Ultimate Warrior. He's no Terry Funk. But he definitely has a spot in 70s, 80s, even early 90s wrestling history. One of the unsung heroes, I would say, out there for sure. But a fabulous, fabulous figure here with a soft good hat and a soft good sweatshirt. Man, you can't ask for much more than that. Very, very good looking figure. Of course, the Classic Superstars packaging, we know it, we love it. There's the figure, of course, the soft goods, like I said. On the side, we got old Nikolai Volkoff. And on the other side, there he is too, and he's looking really good. Looking up towards something. Is he looking up towards the sky? I don't know what he's looking at right there. Of course, his USSR sweatshirt going on. We, of course, got the blurb. We got that same picture up top. We got the cross-sell. Of course, we got these three here. We're going to do the next video. We'll have Mr. Wonderful, Brutus the Barber, oh, one of the all-time greats, old Terry Funk in that next video. So you'll want to make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the old notification bell. You don't want to miss that video. And, of course, we got UPCs and warnings down below. Without further ado, let's see what's up with old Nikolai Volkoff. Debuted 1968, and of course Nikolai, known as, you know, the 80s stereotypical Russian enemy, I guess, for lack of better terms. But he was that a lot of times in the 70s. I think he was like a Mongol back in the day too. But I know I saw classic things when I was a kid on VHS tape way back in the day. Him challenging Bruno Sammartino for the title back in the day. He was a title contender. Where the 80s, we really didn't think of him that way. He was kind of mid-card tag team. Bolsheviks, don't forget about those beautiful Bolsheviks. Give me those figures. But debuted 1968, 320 pounds, 6'3", finishing move, the Russian bear hug, and his titles, of course, WWE Tag Team Champion, Manager Slick for both of these guys, and of course, Classy Freddie Blassie. We did get a Classy Freddie Blassie later in the Classic Series, and we'll get to that, that pairs with these guys, so stay tuned for that one there. But fabulous, fabulous on the back of the package. He is shown without knee pads. We got red knee pads right here, of course, and he does have the same hands, it looks like, same everything. Yeah, pretty much straight up Nikolai. So, an interesting one, but let's get him out of the package here. Oh, Nikolai. This is one I've never had loose, and this is another one of those. This series was heavily at Walgreens stores for many years after they were off the pegs. Your stores may vary, of course, but mine for sure had a lot of this series hanging around at Walgreens. There it goes. See you later. Off to the races. Uh-oh. Spider-Man style. Pow! See you later. There it goes. And a little Nikolai in the old plastic prison. There he is, looking only like a Nikolai Volkoff could look. We recently just got a Mattel Target Legends Nikolai Volkoff not too long ago. Up high, see you later, off the ceiling, there it goes. All right, let's break down old Nikolai here. Just absolutely fabulous. Like I said, one of the forgotten jewels, the gems of the classic line. Some of these, I wouldn't even call Nikolai a deep cut, but I think a forgotten cut is what this one is. And one thing I should mention about these three right here, strangely enough, we did get another version of these three as a Walmart 3-pack exclusive. We'll get to the 3-pack unboxings down the road, so stay tuned for that. Once again, subscribe, hit the old notification bell. You don't want to miss a video. But these very three came with a little repaint, a little new action in a Walmart 3-pack. A fabulous 3-pack, one that went to deep, deep clearance at Walmart, but all these years later still does hold up. And like I said, we will talk about that. He does come with his patented, I believe it's called a Ushanka. I wrote it down right here just so I wouldn't forget, but a Ushanka hat. It's a traditional Russian hat. of course, and very, very cool. Very awesome soft goods here. Now, usually Mattel and other lines, they would probably give you a hard goods version of this, but this is a nice, soft, furry version. Very, very cool. I really, really do like this. It does look really good. Of course, the sweatshirt here. Now, a lot of people talked about that Ultimate Edition Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, kind of out of left circle. Where's Kyle going here? Well, hang on. Hang with me here. That Ultimate Edition Stone Cold Steve Austin came with a soft goods shirt that pulled on like a traditional shirt. No Velcro in the back. It was just like a shirt. Well, we got that same thing with this sweatshirt with Nikolai Volkoff. It goes on just like a shirt. And a lot of people thought, that's first time in the line, first time that's ever happened. No, this happened to Jakks Classic Superstars back in the day. A lot of people forget the past, and people kind of slack off the Jakks, like I've always said. And you got to remember your history. I always say it. I say it all the time here on the channel, because these really did pave the way for the future. For good or for bad, definitely paved the way for the future, and you can't forget your past. That's for sure. But a beautiful, beautiful soft goods sweatshirt here, USSR across there. He does come with his red tights, red boots with the white outlining, I guess the white socks and the red and those shoelaces, red knee pads, a bit plain Jane if he was without his shirt and hat. But man, a very, very good one. I love the head sculpt on this. The face on Nikolai just screams, you know, mad 80s Russian Nikolai. I mean, wish he had a flag here to wave back and forth. Buzzed haircut going on as well. Two gripping hands right here. Of course, we'll talk about the articulation. We'll just do it once because all three figures have the same articulation. And we're going to start from the bottom. We're going to work our way up this time. But you get ankles, front and back, no side to side on these ankles. No boot cut, but you do get double jointed. Single jointed. You guys know I'm in the Mattel Jazzwares headspace, I guess. Single jointed knees. Of course, legs that go up, legs that go back. Not a ton of movement there. Of course, waist articulation. You do get the wrist side to side, turn around as well. Elbows, single jointed. You do get a bicep cut. You do get shoulders that go all the way around, and then the head side to side. So not a ton of bells and whistles in the articulation, but it's just enough articulation for me, especially back in the day. I thought these were just something special, and who am I kidding? These are still something special to this day, if you ask me. But there's Nikolai Volkoff, a very, very cool looking figure here. Might as well open up the old Iron Sheik, of course. Getting his tag team partner there. The Iron Sheik, one of the all-time greats. I always say, if you ask your aunt and uncle, and this is Kyle's aunt and uncle, so a little bit older, 20 years, 60s, 70s maybe. Who knows? It may be the late 50s. I don't know, whatever. That time frame of people. People, yes, people. You ask them some of the all-time bad guys in wrestling, they're going to shoot out the Iron Sheik. He made quite the impression. Of course, the state of the world, the state of affairs at the time, much like Nikolai Volkoff, it makes all the sense in the world. Good for old Iron Sheik. I met the Iron Sheik one time. It was an interesting experience, that's for sure. A bit plain Jane on this Iron Sheik, of course. The 3-pack, we got a nice robe for him. That was really cool. And like I said, we'll get to that 3-pack eventually here on the channel. But there he is. He's got his blue tights on, blue trunks, I should say, and then he's got the camel on there. Of course, his shoes. Shoes? Why not shoes? A little bit plain Jane there in the package. And then we turn to the side, of course, Iron Sheik. On the other side, there he is, just smiling, just a happy-go-lucky guy. And on the back, there it is, Iron Sheik, glamour shot, got the blurb, got the cross-sell, got UPCs, got warnings. Let's see what it says about our old buddy, the Iron Sheik. Debuted in 1973, 262 pounds, 6 feet tall. Finishing move, of course, the camel clutch. Titles, winner of Gimmick Battle Royal at WrestleMania 17. Okay, I think he's had a little bit more fun than that one for sure, but it is true. He did win that Battle Royal, and I heard he won it because he wasn't able physically to go over the top ropes. They said, we'll just have to have the Iron Sheik win. Somebody can fact check that, but that's the rumor that's been out there. All right, we're going to pull him out, see what's going on with the old Sheiky, baby. Howard Stern show favorite, of course, had to re-energize his career a little bit with that, I always thought. And, of course, he was cracking everybody up over there. How much of it is gimmick? How much of it is real guy? I think it's about 50-50, I'd say. Off to the races. See you later. Goodbye. Plastic Prison. Iron Sheik. There he is. Look at that. All right, let's pull him out. Off to the races. Uh-oh. Don't want to take that headdress. Ugh. See you later. Bam. There it is. Now, this is called like a Kaffieyeh, Kaffieyeh. I looked that up as well. I mean, it is a headdress, but I guess it does have a technical name to it. Of course, they did get the most out of their mold. They gave this with his deluxe figure, his other Ruthless Aggression figures. We saw this with Sabu. Jack's got the use out of this for sure, but it's all white there. Nice gold braid around the top with kind of little buttons, jewels, whatever you want to call it, in blue to match the trunks here on the Iron Sheik. So that does look really good. Articulation the same as Nikolai, of course. Iron Sheik is great. I love the boot mold here. Of course, they made this just for him. He's got the old, I don't know, what do you call those things? Like horns on the end of the shoe, I guess. I always thought it was one of the coolest things, especially as LJN. I would always use it as a dirty weapon in my playing days. He'd poke guys in the eyes with it and stuff. I'm sure a lot of players did that back in the day. Beautiful boots here with the kind of mustard yellow color and the blue. Got the camels, got the sword on there. Very, very good looking. And then, of course, the little horns on the shoes there on the boots. Interesting trunks here. He's got a camel right there in his crotch. Very interesting. Kind of, I don't remember it being so centered in there, but I could be wrong. I'm sure he had multiple pairs. Besides that, not a lot going on the Sheik's body. No wrist tape, nothing like that. No knee pads, no elbow pads. But a fabulous head sculpt for old Sheiky baby here. All day long, you give me this head. I know exactly who you're talking about. That's the Iron Sheik all day long. Nice bald head, beautiful mustache. Just an absolute fabulous figure. Not the best Iron Sheik in the line for Classic 3 or Classic Superstars, but I will talk about my favorite one when we do get to that, so stay tuned for that. But still a good one, and probably the most popular Classic Superstars as a whole. The one most people had would be this one. But very cool. Next to Nikolai right here, you get Freddie Blassie, and man, you're off to the races with those guys, as you guys know. So very cool to get the tag teams. And I always love getting tag teams in the same set. Always something special about that. We've talked about that before on the channel as well. Now we turn our attention to a super heavyweight. Somebody else that's a super heavyweight. Of course, we did Yokozuna in the prior video or a couple videos ago. Now we're looking over to King Kong Bundy. And now, King Kong Bundy was a big dude. There was no denying it. This is just one of those instances where I think that super heavy body mold like this one, the Yokozuna mold as I like to call it, keep that for Yokozuna. Dial it back just a hair back, and make one of these for King Kong Bundy, the one-man gangs of the world, things like that. Because obviously the Bam Bam Bigelow Kamala next size down doesn't work for somebody like King Kong Bundy, but it was just somewhere in between there is what we needed. And that was one of the big failures of the Jax line as far as I sat, and you guys know I sit right here. That was one of the problems I always had, and there's no fixing it now, that's for sure. So without further ado, there's old King Kong Bundy. Got soft goods double singlet going on there. Just a big, big hunk of plastic for sure. There he is, King Kong Bundy right on the side. And glamour shot for King Kong Bundy right there. And, of course, the back of the package, there he is. Now, King Kong Bundy came in real hot at WrestleMania 2. We all know he made it event against Hulk Hogan. Young Kyle got into wrestling right there after WrestleMania 3, kind of the fallout of that. So I missed a lot of the King Kong Bundy heyday in the WWF back in the time. And some of my more fond memories were him being on Married with Children. There was that computer commercial and a couple other acting roles. And then him coming back as part of the $1 Million Corporation. So it's interesting. We were kind of two ships in the night, not passing by each other like we should have been. But King Kong Bundy, one of the all-time great super heavyweights. Heck, he main evented a WrestleMania. There's not a lot of people that can say they did that. King Kong Bundy debuted 1980, weight 446 pounds, 6'4", finishing move the Avalanche, and of course, one big, big dude. Now, this is the bald-headed version of King Kong Bundy, where they got the other one with a little bit more hair. I believe no eyebrows. That's the 3-pack one we keep referencing in this very video. But let's pull him out of the package, see what's going on with old King Kong Bundy here. Another figure I have never had loose in my life, so this could be the first time around the sun for this one as well. And there it is. Pull it on out. Bam! See you later. Goodbye. And plastic prison time for old Bundy right there. There it is. Pulling Bundy out. There it is. Bam! See you later. Goodbye. And we got King Kong Bundy out of the package. Got a little bit of fiber from the cloth that needs to be trimmed up a little bit there. But big, big figure, of course. Now, it does look like King Kong Bundy, but I could see some people, if you give him the head, they'll say, well, I don't know, because it is just a bald guy. So that's kind of hard to judge. But I think those that know, I'd say, yeah, that's King Kong Bundy all day long. Big, big head for King Kong Bundy to match the body. We did see with Yokozuna, the head was just a hair small. I thought this definitely works. He does have the same hands as Yokozuna, so they were using that same kind of body mold. I'm wondering if we have any staining with this one, and we do not have any staining. So that's one of those things that we still see today in wrestling figures, and we saw it in Jax a little bit as well, some of the staining that went on with some of these figures, but I'm happy to report no staining from this singlet, so that's nice. He does have elbow pads as accessories. That's about it from there. White wrist tape going on. Big, big legs, of course. Very tough articulation. Boy, that's not even moving at the knees. That knee's moving. This knee is not moving. It is locked in place. Ooh, there we go. Had to break the plastic free a little bit, but very, very tight joints. And as I always say, I love the tight joints on these Jakks figures. There's something special about getting them right out of the package. Tight joints and everything. A lot of people get them loose, or you see them in toy stores, things like that. The joints are all loose. It's just not the same feeling figure. It almost feels like a different kind of figure. But man, Bundy's good, just a little bit too big for me. That's where I sit on my final verdict for him. But very cool. 3 of the 80s legendary bad guys here in Nikolai Volkoff, Iron Sheik, and King Kong Bundy. Like I said, there is a 3-pack of these 2 that we also will get to on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, hit the old notification bell, like this video. You made it this far, you might as well. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on these 3. Do you agree Nikolai is an underrated jewel in the classic set? Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to see one more Mattel Nikolai from the $1 Million Corporation with that kind of shirt he wore, that money shirt kind of thing that he had, kind of like tuxedo top. I always thought that was kind of funny for old Nikolai. Old Nikolai, the money even got him. I can't believe it. But let me know your thoughts on these 3 down in the comments down below. And of course, follow along on Patreon. That's another one, link in the description below, where you can get this video, many other videos much, much earlier than traditional YouTube. Bonus content, exclusive content, and best of all, you do support the channel. Of course, SirPaul64 is where you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for Nikolai, Sheiky Baby, and King Kong Bundy, I am Kyle, and I'll see you guys all real soon.